This is Nicholas Yock, a registered migration agent from Pathway to Oz. We help you plan and execute your permanent residency pathway. So guys, good news, Western Australia has finally opened to the world. After many years of being a hermit state, Western Australia migration has finally loosened, and it's exciting. So in today's video, I'm going to discuss Western Australia migration, but please note the information provided is general in nature. All right, so today I'm going to discuss why you need state nomination, the state occupation lists, the different streams for state nomination, the requirements for WA state nomination, and what is the process. Okay, so why you need state nomination. Western Australia nomination is required for state nominated visas, the Subclass 190 or the Skilled Regional Visa, Subclass 491. So both these visas fall under the General Skilled Migration stream. And look, we've got a lot of videos and other content on these visas, so please check the links below. So in order to apply for these visas, the 491 or the 190, you must be nominated by a state or territory. So each state has their own occupation lists and requirements. And look, previously WA was really strict, and they gave out very few invitations compared to other states. However, just recently, it seems like they've opened up a little bit to inviting. There might be a bit of a labour shortage there, and they're inviting a lot more occupations, and even open up to potentially inviting offshore applicants. All right, so the Western Australia state occupation list. Look guys, each state has their own list of occupations that they want to nominate. And if your occupation is not on this list, you won't get an invite. So Western Australia recently came out with a massively increased list. It's huge, there's a lot of occupations on there. Check the links below. And when you scroll through it, you can see there's hundreds of jobs on this. All right, so what are the streams for WA nomination? So there are a few different streams, and each stream has different requirements. In some of the streams, Western Australia recently opened up to offshore applicants as well. However, WA State Migration said they will be given preference to people who are currently living and working in WA first, followed by residents in Australia, and then followed by residents living overseas. So it's still a lot more difficult to be invited if you are overseas. All right, so look guys, there's three different streams: the graduate stream, the general stream 1, and the general stream 2. The graduate stream requires you to have studied for at least 2 years in a Western Australian institution at a vocational level or higher. You must live in Australia, you must meet the English requirements, and you must have an employment contract for at least 6 months from a WA employer, or have at least 6 months experience in the relevant field. All right, so the general stream requires you to meet the English requirements, have at least 1 year of work experience in Australia or 3 years experience overseas, have an employment contract in Australia from a WA employer for at least 12 months, and if you're outside WA, you'll need to show sufficient finances. General Stream 2 requires you to meet the English requirement, have an employment contract from a WA employer for at least 12 months, and meet the WA, but if you're outside Australia, meet the financial requirements. So look guys, what is the process? So the process is the same as most other states. Before you can apply for the 190 or the 491 visa, you must first express your interest, and then you must be invited by state migration. So step 1 is, meet the requirements for these visas and submit an expression of interest through the Department of Home Affairs Skill Select website. And on your expression of interest, you must indicate that you're willing to be invited by Western Australia, or you can also choose any state or territory. Please note, you must meet the requirements for the 491 or the 190 and score at least 65 points to potentially be invited. So once you've lodged the expression of interest, WA Migration can then choose to give you an invitation to apply for these visas. And once you've got the invitation from WA Migration, you can then apply for the visas through your IMI account. So look, please note, once you lodge the expression of interest, even if you do meet the state requirements and even if you do meet the Home Affairs requirements, there's no guarantee that you'll get an invitation. The chances of you receiving an invitation depend a lot on your specific occupation, how many other applicants applied for that in your occupation, your location. Obviously, they're giving preference to people in WA, and a lot of other things like that, such as your points. You know, there's a lot of factors which go into it. But as I said before, it's free to submit an expression of interest. So, I mean, there's no hurt in doing it. Look, I hope you found this information useful. If you have further questions, feel free to contact Pathway to Oz.